When we talk about manifesting anything you desire, everything begins with your state, not your goals, not your strategy, not your environment, your state. Because your state is the invisible force that either empowers your vision or suffocates it before it ever has a chance to breathe. Every breakthrough you've ever had in your life, every moment where something suddenly shifted, where you suddenly knew you could change, those moments didn't come from outside. They came from a shift in your emotional and physical state. And when you learn to master that state on demand, manifestation stops being a hopeful wish and becomes a natural extension of who you are. People spend years chasing confidence, certainty, passion, drive, waiting for it to magically show up. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect sign, the perfect opportunity. But that's not how life works. Confidence isn't something that shows up when everything is lined up. Confidence is something you generate. Certainty is something you create. And your state is the doorway to both. The problem is that most people try to manifest from a state of fear, hesitation, or scarcity. They want something big, but they approach it with tiny energy. They want abundance while feeling lack. They want love while feeling unworthy. They want success while standing in self-doubt. And the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you are. You have to train yourself to step into a completely different energy, an elevated emotional vibration, a higher level of inner strength. Because when your state rises, your choices rise, your focus sharpens, your courage wakes up. Manifestation doesn't come from wishing, it comes from becoming. And becoming starts with shifting your state in the moment you feel yourself shrinking. Think about the times you made a powerful decision, the times you acted boldly without overthinking. Maybe you made a move that changed your life, chose a career path, ended a limiting relationship, started a project you've been avoiding. Those moments didn't come from a low state. In those moments, you were alive, awake, in your power. You weren't waiting for certainty, you were embodying it. If someone is trying to attract a better life while living in a state of emotional struggle every day, their energy and their desires are in conflict. That conflict slows everything down. But when you raise your state, even before anything in your life changes, your internal chemistry shifts, your mind opens, your body strengthens, your emotions align. You start approaching your desires with the energy of someone who is ready to receive them. That's why changing your state is the first step. Because manifestation doesn't start with circumstances, it starts with identity. You can't manifest greatness while showing up like a smaller version of yourself. And here's the truth. Your state isn't decided by the world around you. It's decided by the meaning you give things and the way you move your body. Change your breath, change your movement, change your focus, and your entire emotional experience transforms instantly. Most people let their emotions drag them around like heavy chains. They wake up tired, stressed, uncertain, and they carry that into every decision they make. But you can choose differently. You can choose to breathe with intention, to move with purpose, to speak to yourself with authority, to focus on what empowers you instead of what drains you. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about stepping into the version of you who doesn't wait for circumstances to determine how powerful you feel. When you enter a peak state, even for a few minutes, you reconnect with that deeper part of you that has always known you are meant for more. That part of you that remembers your strength, your intelligence, your creativity, your resilience. When your state rises, you can feel that future version of yourself pulling you forward. Suddenly, the actions you were avoiding don't feel heavy. The goals that felt impossible start to feel attainable. Your mind begins to filter the world differently. Opportunities appear where you once saw barriers. Solutions show up where you once saw limitations. Your entire perception shifts because your state shapes your reality. And think about this. Manifestation is not passive. It's not about sitting quietly and hoping the universe rearranges itself for you. It's about tuning your energy so powerfully that your actions, intentions, and focus all move in the same direction. People who manifest powerfully aren't lucky. They're aligned. They don't wait for motivation. They generate momentum. They don't wait for permission. They give themselves permission. And that all begins with stepping into a state of power, even when your environment hasn't changed yet. Have you ever seen someone walk into a room and instantly shift the energy? They haven't said a word, but you can feel their presence. That presence isn't magic, it's mastery of state. It's mastery of state. It's the ability to elevate your energy so fully that the world responds to you differently. When you're in that kind of elevated state, you don't chase manifestation. Manifestation gravitates toward you. You become a magnet for opportunity, insight, intuition, and aligned action. So the first step in manifesting anything is not to wait, not to hope, not to try to think your way into belief. It is to shift your state right now. Stand differently, breathe differently, focus differently, command your energy. Because you can't pull greatness into your life while operating from a low vibration, you must rise first. And when you rise, everything else rises with you. The quality of your life is the quality of your state. Your future begins with the energy you choose in this moment. That is where manifestation truly begins. Clarity is the ignition switch of manifestation. When you know exactly what you want, every cell in your body begins to organize around that vision. But most people walk through life with a fog around their desires. They feel the hunger for more, but they never crystallize it. They hope things will get better, but hope without clarity becomes suffering. When you're unclear, your mind gets scattered, your energy leaks, and your actions become inconsistent. But the moment you define your outcome with precision, something extraordinary happens. Your brain locks onto it like a laser, and your entire emotional system begins to support it. Clarity doesn't just guide you, it activates you. Think about it. You can't hit a target you can't see. You can't manifest a future you haven't named. Most people say they want success, but success is not a vision. Success to one person might mean freedom. To another, it might mean contribution. To another, it might mean financial growth or emotional peace. If the vision isn't defined, the mind has no direction. And when the mind has no direction, it loops, it hesitates, it overthinks. But the moment you choose a clear, compelling outcome, hesitation dissolves. The mind loves a target. It loves direction. It loves something to build toward. When you give it that clarity, it begins to pull ideas, opportunities, and resources into your awareness that were invisible before. Clarity is not just asking what you want, it's knowing why you want it. Because without a compelling reason, your vision has no emotional fuel. Your why is the engine. When challenges come, it's your why that keeps you moving. It's your why that lifts you above fear, above excuses, above limitations. When your why is strong enough, the how begins to reveal itself. People get stuck because they obsess about the how. But the how is never the starting point. You don't need to know the entire path. You need to know the destination and the reason you're committed to reaching it. From that place, your brain becomes a pattern-seeking machine, constantly looking for alignment, constantly searching for next steps. But clarity isn't passive. It's not just writing a sentence and calling it a day. It's emotional. It's sensory. It's alive. When you get clear on what you want, you must be able to feel it. If you can't feel it, you won't move toward it. You need to be able to close your eyes and see the outcome so vividly that it feels real right now. Feel the emotion of already having achieved it. Feel the version of you who is living that reality. Feel the confidence, the peace, the certainty. When the image becomes emotionally charged, your subconscious begins to accept it as truth. And once your subconscious accepts something as truth, your behavior shifts automatically to support it. Clarity creates identity. When you define your outcome, you also define who you need to become to reach it. You start asking different questions. You stop asking, can I do this? And start asking, what would the version of me who already achieved this do next? Its single shift changes everything. It turns manifestation into alignment. It turns dreaming into embodiment. You're no longer waiting for the future. You're stepping into it right now. And let's be honest, many people avoid clarity because clarity demands responsibility. When you decide what you truly want, you remove the excuses. You remove the buffers. You remove the safety of ambiguity. Clarity forces you to rise. It forces you to commit. It forces you to face the parts of your life that are out of alignment. But that's where transformation begins. That's where manifestation becomes real. You can't manifest a life you're afraid to declare. You can't step into greatness while hiding behind uncertainty. You must claim it, declare it, own it. And once you do, you tap into a level of power that most people never experience. When you are clear on your outcome, life starts to organize around you. Your conversations change. Your standards rise. Your decisions sharpen. You stop wasting time in places and with people who don't match your vision. You stop tolerating what drains you. You stop shrinking yourself to fit inside someone else's comfort zone. Clarity gives you permission to honor your purpose. When you're clear, you become unavailable for anything that contradicts your vision. And here's the beautiful part. Clarity simplifies everything. It cuts through complexity. When you know exactly where you're going, you can immediately tell what serves you and what doesn't. You stop chasing distractions. You stop getting lost in overthinking. You say yes with confidence and no without guilt. Your energy flows in one direction instead of being scattered in 100. Manifestation accelerates because your life becomes focused. If you've ever felt stuck, lost, or overwhelmed, it's not because you're incapable. It's because you're unclear. The moment clarity returns, motivation returns. The moment clarity returns, courage returns, courage returns. The moment clarity returns, certainty begins to build inside you. Suddenly, you wake up with direction. You move with intention, and that intention creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence, and confidence creates the magnetic pull that draws your desire closer to you. But clarity also requires honesty. You must be honest about what you truly want, not what you think you should want, not what others expect of you, not what feels safe. Real clarity is raw. It's unfiltered. It's the truth of your heart without the noise of fear. When you allow yourself to speak that truth, even privately to yourself, your energy expands. You feel alive again. Because clarity reconnects you with your deepest desires, and those desires are not random. They are signals of who you are meant to become. So if you want to manifest anything, start by carving your vision out of the fog. Name it, feel it, declare it, let it live inside you with absolute certainty. Because when your outcome is clear and your reason is powerful, manifestation stops feeling like a distant dream and becomes a direction your life naturally moves toward. The clearer you are, the faster everything aligns. That is how clarity begins turning desire into destiny.